had the privilege of traveling to China in June 2019. And on my exchange, I was lucky enough to spend 3 days with our panelists to celebrate the 40th anniversary of exchanges between ACYPL and the All China Youth Federation. So as a new administration takes over in DC, there's been a lot of discussion around what diplomacy will look like under the new Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, and the Biden administration. Conversations are swirling around US-China relations, as well as trade in North America, and most recently news out of the Middle East, where 4 countries have normalized relations with Israel. To learn a little bit more about the tone and tenor that American diplomacy could take, I am honored to introduce our distinguished panelists.
When I became an ambassador, I was blown away by the quality of the colleagues that I had who were career foreign service officers. Their depth of knowledge, their understanding of the mission, our shared vision, their support of the president's agenda were all very compelling to me. And I really found it interesting that over more than 3 years that I was ambassador, I never came to work and felt that my colleagues were political, whether they were Republicans or Democrats. They were really focused on mission, and for that I will always appreciate them and the job that they did.
In my case, unlike career ambassadors, I was not confined to the strictures of the State Department, as I had already worked for more than 20 years in the U.S. Senate, the Peace Corps, the U.S. Information Agency, and USAID, at relatively high positions. I understood how Washington works, and I was willing to take risks to get the job done. In Nepal, after the revolution, I never thought twice about working with the communists, which had become the opposition party and an important part of the government. My residence in Kathmandu became the only place in town where Nepalis and of all political stripes gathered.
So, from my perspective, diplomacy is more of an art than it is a science. That if you think about it, you have people trying to come together to resolve issues, to move forward on agendas. And each party brings to that discussion a history, a culture, the reality of their constituents, what they're trying to achieve, what a good outcome looks like. And so along the way, you're balancing all of these to come to a reconciliation.
So what I would stress, that in making our diplomatic corps to better reflect American society, well then, we should not leave out Asian Americans, without which our commitment to diversity and inclusion, I think, can be called a sham.
You're here. Ambassador Bush, I'd love to get your opinion as well.
Well, Ambassador, I think you're right on point, because in diplomacy, we need people from all backgrounds, all faiths, all regions, who can be effective at understanding cultural differences, social distances, nuances in conversation, nuances in approach to diplomacy and interaction. And so we benefit from having the most diverse community of diplomats that we can have.